Hey guys, what's going on? It's Mark with Spiguyver Backpacking, coming to you from Lake Arcadia yet again. This time I'm doing it a little bit different. I got out here a little before 1 in the afternoon on Saturday. I had a lot of stuff I had to get taken care of this morning, so I went ahead, went to the gym, went to a couple of stores, got some stuff done, and then grabbed my bike, came out here, and there were some trails out here that I've never ridden. Even though I'd lived out here, you know, I'd heard of the trails out here, and I just never had taken the opportunity to come out. So decided I'd pack up the bike, come out here, and go hit the trails. So I spent a little over an hour riding around, having fun. Some pretty cool trails out here. I've got this Sheltowee Half Shell Zip set up. I've got the other piece that I wanted to show you guys, which is the Underquilt. Now this is a little bit different than some of the other underquilts, so I'm testing it out tonight now that the new mod has been done to it. They took a little bit of feedback I had from the last time I was out with it, made some improvements, and so I'm testing it out tonight to make sure that everything is what it seems. I've got some other gear out here with me tonight that I'm going to be testing out. I've got my baking kit, and I'm going to try something a little bit different with that. Something I wanted to try that next weekend I'm actually headed out. Beekeeper's driving up from Florida. I'm driving down from Oklahoma. We're meeting in Louisiana, and we're going to go hit the trail. I think we're doing about a 30-mile loop, and should be a lot of fun. But I wanted to try out a recipe, so while I'm out here tonight, that's what I'm going to do. I've got a Prairie Bomb with me. Love those beers. Let's see, I've got some other stuff, but hey, that's what I've got going on right now. So let's go ahead and get everything set up, get everything going. I'm going to set my tarp up, and we'll do this. Let's go. Let me show you some of the features of this underquilt. So this one is a little bit different, so let's take a look. So starting here, it is not the standard type of suspension. So we've got a little mini beaner hooked onto the continuous loop at the end, and then it's kind of a hammock in and of itself. If you look at the way it fits, it's almost like a little mini hammock underneath the hammock. And one of the really cool things about this, if I move this one out of the way a little bit, you can see the suspension that's inside. So it has this mesh panel suspension, and it's got some adjustments here, and then right on the other side there's another one right here, and then it's got this yellow loop. Now this is the part that I had problems with, because it was just these two and then it looped down, and what it did was the center part of the underquilt would sag and create air gaps. So what I had done was I had done a knot in here and pulled it up with a line that went up to the continuous loop, and that solved it. So I went back and told Alex about that, and so he put this hook on here, this little mitten hook, and then this string which goes up to the continuous loop. Now the other cool thing about that is that here, this end, you can then hang like a Nalgene or something a little bit heavier from, and all of its weight is then placed on the continuous loop, rather than if you set something heavy in here. So this is a little bit of a storage area. If you set something heavy in there, it may pull your underquilt away from your hammock a little bit. So what's really neat is this feature. So I've got just the bag that it comes in, and on both ends you've got this, you can see this puffed out area, and that's just like a little storage area that you can throw stuff in. So I can throw that down in there. I could throw my shoes in there. If I've got an empty pack, I could throw it in there, or anything that's not too heavy. And that's on both ends. So you've got that on both ends, and it has its own shock cord system that will cinch it up so that you can have more or less in there. But you can see it actually is a pretty generous area in there. Same suspension type on both sides. It's got this mesh, and then you have the underquilt itself. So it is pretty much a hammock with about 4 inches on either side, where it's just got the shock cord running through the channel all the way through, just like any other. But then you've got a full underquilt with horizontal baffles rather than vertical baffles, which really do allow you to migrate the down to your type of lay. So if you lay with your head on one side, feet on the other, like you should, you can then like pat the down to the side that you want it on, and really adjust the temperature to fit you really well. Now when I lay inside of it, I don't have to make any adjustments once I get in. I pull it up onto the sides and it just stays put. Okay, so for tonight, what I'm gonna do is I've got my new Batchstovez kit here. So I've got the 12 cm pot. Usually I have a 10 cm that's got the fiberglass wicking around it, but I went with this one with the bail handle, and it's got a little piece of silicone there, so that when the bail handle's up, the lid's actually on pretty tight, so that's kind of nice. I've got the aluminum spacer in there, and then the 10 cm baking dish. So this goes together and makes a nice little baking set. And this is what I used the other night to make that chocolate chip muffin, which I did bring the muffin mix, so if I wanted to, I could do another one of those. But what I'm thinking about doing for tonight is this. Let me get all this stuff out here. Okay, so I went with some crescent rolls, and these are going to be the crust. I've got pizza sauce, and I've got mozzarella cheese. I've got some coconut oil that I'm going to grease the pot with, and so I'm going to make a backcountry pizza on the wood stove. So I've got the little QiWiz wood stove with me. I'm going to fire that thing up, get it going here in just a little while, get this thing all set up, and I'll show you guys what it looks like once I've got it set up. But crescent rolls, pizza sauce, fresh mozzarella cheese should be really good. At least that's the hope. I do have a backup meal just in case. Okay, so I'm not really sure what to call this. It's not exactly a pizza. I guess it's kind of like a Chicago style pizza. I'm not sure if it's done. I'm not sure how it is. It's still on. I've got the coals still hot down here. So let's take a look at what we've got. So it looks pretty tasty. We'll see. And we'll see how well it comes out of there, because I did not grease that far up the sides of the pot, because I did not anticipate it rising quite that much. Oh well. That's why you try things. Alright, so here it is. It's been sitting for a couple of minutes. It's actually pretty solid. You know, it pulls away from the sides okay. I'm gonna have to eat it kind of like a oh, look at that. It's kind of got like the crispy edges a little bit, but not horrible. Oh, hot. It tastes like a pizza. That's actually really, really good. So you can see down here the crust is actually done. It looks really good, tastes really good. I'm gonna call this a 95% success. A little bit of tweaking to it for next time, but yeah, I think I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna eat this, and I'll let you guys know what I think afterwards. So that was really good, and it actually cleaned up really well. I mean, not bad at all. Pretty easy to clean up, and so now it's ready for me to do next baking in it whenever I do that. So I think that's a keeper. I think I'm going to do that one, take it out on the trail next weekend with Beekeeper and get that one done. And something else that I don't normally do is a fire, but I actually have a fire going tonight, and you know, just decided what the heck. Yeah, it's a beautiful night tonight. It's going to be low of about 32 tonight. I've got the 20-degree Sheltowee Underquilt, and I've got my Bandit, my Underground Quilts Bandit top quilt for tonight. So I should be good. Looking forward to it. Should be a great night. I've got the tarp up, the Underground Quilts membrane 12-foot hanger tarp. And you know, I just wanted something to make sure if the dew came, it didn't get on me. And yeah, that's that. So I've got a nice little fire going right here. So I'm gonna just enjoy this. Good morning. I had a good night last night. Got down probably to about 30, maybe 29. I know that at 7 a.m. when I woke up and checked, it was 31 degrees, and it said the low was 30, but you know, out here along the lake it could have gotten down a little bit lower. I have to say, last night was a whole lot better experience than the first night I spent with this underquilt. So like I had mentioned, I ended up going back to Alex Gash with some input to hopefully improve the underquilt, and I think it did. I think it did exactly what it needed to. Now, I will say that it was not a just hang it and forget it deal. There was definitely some getting up, making some adjustments, but once I got it adjusted correctly, this thing has been awesome all night long. No cold butt, no drafts, no nothing. And you know, it's rated to 20 degrees, and I would say I was down pretty close to what most people consider the limit, which was, you know, 10 degrees above, and I had no issues there whatsoever. So I'm gonna go with this thing will work. It is full length. It's more coverage. It's more coverage than most quilts out there, so that's a positive. And then moving away from the quilt to this hammock, this, like I said in the last video, this is one of my top 3 hammocks, and last night absolutely solidifies that. I get a better lay in this than I do in most of my other hammocks, and it's well put together, it's quality, and you know, it provides a lot of room in here for what I want and what I want to do, and you know, if you're even slightly claustrophobic, this thing is going to be great for you. I get a nice flat lay, as you can see here. You know, I've got a nice flat lay. And I've even started going away from using my pillow, just by laying correct and finding a spot where, you know, I can get my head up just a little bit. It actually works out better than having the pillow. So I've been really happy with this. Pretty awesome. Well, I think I'm gonna get up, make some coffee, and I might go off our bike ride. We'll see. It's a little chilly right now, but once it warms up a little bit, the sun's up. I went ahead and pulled back the tarp. You can see the tarp's on this side. Went ahead and pulled it back so it was just on the one side, so that I can enjoy a little bit of sunlight coming in, seeing the world out there. Yeah, another great night in the hammock, and you know, I've got a great trip coming up next weekend with Beekeeper that I'm really looking forward to. So, all right, well, I'm gonna go get some coffee. Since I was out here this weekend and there's ample trees out here, I wanted to go ahead and set up both my Dutchware Chameleon and my Dream Hammock Sparrow, because I know a lot of people, probably the most requested video that I'm asked for is a comparison between the Chameleon and a Dream Hammock. I think the Sparrow is probably the closest match. Some would say maybe the Raven for some other reasons, but I think between the two of these, they're very closely matched. And so I'm gonna go ahead and put together a video that kind of talks about a comparison, a contrast of the two of them, but you'll have to stick around for that one. I was just out here testing some gear this weekend, just getting another night out before next weekend I head out with Beekeeper. Really looking forward to that trip. We haven't been out together on the trail in a while, so really looking forward to that. Christmas is coming up. Get to actually see my family. Haven't seen my boys, and wow, it's been over 3 months, so really looking forward to that. It's gonna be great. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you coming out here. Stay tuned for this video, and I'll see you guys down the trail.